was like 1,000 years ago. I fought my way out of that cave, became Iron Man. Realized I loved you. I know I said no more surprises, but I was really hoping to pull off one last one.
The world has changed. None of us can go back. All we can do is our best. And sometimes the best that we can do is to start over.
I will be back here. I will be back here. And I will be back with vengeance.
I saw all these people die.
I keep telling everybody they should move on. Some do, but not us.
Even if there's a small chance, we owe this to everyone who's not in this room to try.
We will. I'll do whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Doing whatever it takes. I like this one.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Niners Sickness with another Niners Sickness podcast. What a season. What a season, to say the least. 2024 was not the season that we all envisioned taking place. Being out of the playoffs, our season ending today, instead of preparing for the playoffs, instead of getting the number one seed and waiting to see who our opponent is in the divisional round, we go home. We are done. And what a way to end the season with a smackdown from the Cardinals to the Niners. The defensive coordinator needs to go. The special teams coordinator needs to go. We're going to talk about all of that in some right after this.
McCaffrey, and he runs out across the 30, breaks a tackle, he's gone! It is intercepted! The 49ers have the football! Touchdown! He's into the end zone! Touchdown! Touchdown! 49ers! San Francisco!
This is your boy Niners Sickness with the Niners Real Talk. We're going to talk 49ers tonight. I want you guys to express how you feel in the comments. This was a terrible season. A lot of it had to do with injuries. A lot of it had to do with coordinators, maybe the head coach, decision making, ownership. Who do we blame? Or do we even blame something for a terrible season? Or do we chalk it down as, well, Niners sickness, what can we say? We had injured players. The Rams had injured players. Detroit has injured players. These teams found a way to win. Now, is the Niners era done? I don't think so. Do I believe that the Niners can come back next year and kind of get back to what the Niners we have all seen and loved? I think so. Is Brock Purdy the answer? Is he the answer? Will the Niners pay Brock Purdy? How much should they pay Brock Purdy? Should the Niners just roll with another year without paying Brock if Brock wants too much? What should the Niners do? Now, as Niner fans, we all have our own opinion on what the Niners should do. You talk to any Niner fan, and every Niner fan will tell you this or that. This is what we should do, or that's what we should do. What's up, Daniel Burry, Sports Highlights? Welcome, sir. How are you doing? Let me change this to the bottom instead of the top. Boom. All right. How are we doing, sir? Good to see you. We got JD in the house. If Brock was competing with Dobbs all year, it would have been a different deal, I think. I didn't think Dobbs did a good job today. He was able to scramble. I'm watching Sam Darnold right now. I'm watching Sam Darnold against the Detroit depleted defense. And Sam Darnold is struggling. Sam Darnold is struggling in this game. And a must-win game. I don't think Sam Darnold is the true answer coming back in 2025. I know a lot of Niner fans are upset the way the season went. We're upset that we're not in the playoffs. And that's all valid. You are entitled to feel the way you feel. But let's not jump off the rails. This is still a very good team. This is not a rebuild, in my opinion. Do the Niners need to truly self-evaluate? Yes. Do they need to look deep inside to the core and find out what they have to change? Absolutely. Do they need to fire the defensive coordinator? Yes, in my opinion. Do they need to fire the special teams coordinator? Yes. They got to go. Is Jake Moody, is he done in San Francisco? Another wasted third-round pick. And all Kyle did was change the position. Kyle always wastes third-round picks on running backs. And now they chose to go kicker. They chose a kicker in the third round. Now, I love Kyle. I think Kyle is and still will be a great head coach. I am glad that he's on this team. I like John Lynch. I like the combination of those two. But what were they thinking to take a kicker in the third round. It wasn't bad enough that they took a punter a few years before in the fourth round. They took a kicker in the fourth round, and what did they do? Let's amp the ante. Sorry about my birds there behind me getting a little loud. Hold on, guys. Let me let them out. Otherwise, they're not gonna shut up. Hold on, guys. All right, sorry about that. I had to let them out. Otherwise, they're not going to get quite... Okay, here they come. Here they come. All right. So, what were the Niners thinking in taking a kicker in the third round? Right, Maui? Yeah, see, my birds even, what were they thinking? It's bad enough they took a punter in the fourth round a few years ago. Now they go and take a kicker out of all places from Michigan? Really? True. What's up, Briz? How you doing, bro? Good to see you. Jorge is in the house. What's up, Jorge? How you doing? Moody has to go. What's up, crazy guy? Yo, it feels great to be back. It's been a long time, but I'm back. Welcome back there, crazy guy. Good to see you. Niners tried to replace Robbie Gould in the draft. Didn't work. But they didn't have to replace him with a third round choice at the kicker position. You can pick these guys off the freaking street. I don't care how good a kicker is in college. I don't care if a kicker is 100% shooter or kicker in college. You don't give up a third round, especially when we needed help in the offensive line and the Niners decide to go kicker. Now, again, I like Kyle. I don't think there's another coach right now that is available that can step up and take us where we want to go other than Kyle. But does Kyle make mistakes? Absolutely. Does John Lynch make mistakes? Absolutely. They haven't drafted well in the couple of first rounds. Besides Bosa, Debo. Oh, you know what it is? I have the green... Hold on. I have the green screen on. That's what it is. That's why my birds... See my birds looking like really kind of see-through? I had the green screen on, and I don't have my green screen. It's on the wall. I don't know if you can see it. Nope, it's over there. See it in the corner over there? There's my green screen. Sorry about that. So Kyle doesn't need to be fired. Kyle isn't going anywhere. John Lynch isn't going anywhere. But do they need to get their act together in the offseason? And it starts with the Brock Purdy. It's going to start with Brock Purdy. What are the Niners going to do with Brock Purdy? Now, Brock Purdy isn't going anywhere. I don't want him to go anywhere. Brock Purdy isn't and will never be Josh Allen. Brock Purdy isn't and will never be Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, or Lamar Jackson. He's Brock Purdy. And in Kyle's system, we can work with Brock Purdy. Sure, does he need players around him? What's up, Christopher? Or Christian, I should say. Excuse me. How you doing, man? I don't know. I watched today's game, and I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. A lot of Niner fans are like, we need to win every game. It doesn't matter. Every game, we got to win. We got to end this. We got to end the season on a winning note. We got to win every game. I'll be honest with you. I did not like that we got blown out by Arizona. I didn't like that Arizona put 40 points, but we lost Hufanga. We lost Mustafa early in the game. Kittle didn't play much. But was I disappointed with the loss? I wasn't. Some people may question my loyalty. Some people may question my fandom. You're not a real Niner fan. You're supposed to root for your team to win no matter what. So they win today. And they are 7-10 instead of 6-11. And now they're picking in the draft. Yes, I'm talking about the draft. So they moved down the line. Now they're picking anywhere between 13 and 16. When you got to fix your team, you got to get an edge rusher, you got to get a D tackle, you got to get an offensive tackle. Now, you got to choose the right player, of course. But pick it at 11, which we are now. The Niners are now set drafting at the 11th spot. They're going to draft number 11. Now, if they would have won today, there's a lot of teams out there 7-10. A lot of teams out there 7-10. Now we're dealing with 13, maybe the 14, 15 pick, 16 pick. I like that we're picking 11. Now, I don't like that we're not going to the playoffs. I don't like that our season is over. I don't like that we ended up 6-11. I don't like the idea that we were injured for most of the year. But that is what happened. So I wasn't upset that the Niners lost today. I didn't like the way they lost. I didn't like the beatdown. See, listen, Niner players are always going to play to win. They are on the team. They're getting paid to win. They are very competitive, and they don't care about draft picks. They don't care about anything. Maybe coaches deep down inside do care about the position that they're drafting, but they want to win games. I'm not a coach, and I'm not a player. I am a fan. So speaking from the fan perspective, I want to draft the highest possible to get the better player. Now, still, draft is a crapshoot. You can have the 11th pick, you can have the 10th, the 9th pick, the 8th pick, and you can screw it up. Like Solomon Thomas with a 3rd overall pick. So yes, you can screw up picks. Absolutely. You can screw up picks. Look at these guys. Just sitting right here in my hand. Chilling like a villain. So you can screw up picks. Absolutely. You can have the higher pick and still screw it up. I agree. I hope the Niners do the due diligence. I hope that the scout team scouts well, and I hope that the Niners get either a edge rusher, a D tackle on defense, or get a tackle. But am I happy that the Niners lost? No. Am I upset? No. Because if we would have won today, it would have been 7-10. We would have ended the season with winning, but our draft process would have dropped. How does that benefit us? How does that benefit us? Now we have the 11th pick. Now the Niners need to do their due diligence. They need to make sure their scout is doing their job, and they need to go and scout the best player available at that position, or whatever position the Niners go at that number 11. Will the Niners go offensive line? Are they going to go D tackle? Are they finally going to get the missing D tackle ever since we lost our boy to the Colts? Are they finally? Because I don't know about Hargrave. I was a huge fan of Hargrave. I was excited when Hargrave was brought in free agency, but he hasn't really impressed me much lately. Are we finally going to get that big guy in the middle that can stop the run and rush the passer? Are we going to get a pass rusher that can not only complement Bosa, but go after the quarterback? Or are we finally going to take a tackle that can play right tackle, and when Trent Williams retires, he can move over to left tackle? This offseason is going to be vital, in my opinion, for the success of the San Francisco 49ers going forward. Not only in the draft, but retaining certain players need to be signed back. Getting rid of the wrong players. Going after a well-known defensive coordinator. Kyle isn't going anywhere. So Kyle needs to make sure he builds a strong coaching staff. And I know that the conversation this offseason is going to be all about Brock Purdy. Is he worth 60 to 65 million per year? Should the Niners tell Brock Purdy, this is what we think you're worth, and you should take this amount? I hate to say this, whether people agree with me or not, that is up to you. But Brock Purdy has the upper hand. Brock Purdy, when it comes to negotiations, Brock Purdy has the upper hand. Brock Purdy does not need to take a discount. And what are the Niners going to do? Brock Purdy says, I want $60 million. Whether we think he's worth it or not. If Brock Purdy says, I want 60, 65, what are the Niners going to do? Okay, let's say they don't pay him. Let's say he plays out his last year. What happens if he has a monster 2025 season? What happens if he just plays very well in 2025? Then what? Now we're not talking about 60, 65. Now we're talking about 70 to 75 million after the 2025 season. And I've heard people say, well, if Brock Purdy doesn't want to play for the 40, 45 million, trade him for JJ McCarthy from the Vikings because Sam Darnold is playing very well. Bring in Cousins for a year. Bring in this quarterback, bring in that quarterback, and keep the quarterback price down. If you're going to build the offensive line, if you're going to work on the defense, you need a stable quarterback. And Brock Purdy is none of the guys that I mentioned earlier. Nor will he ever be. But he is good at what he does. I like his anticipation. I like his decision making. Now, he has thrown some interceptions this year. He needs to correct that. But I put a lot of that blame on the offensive line. I do. I believe, and again, you don't have to agree with me. That's fine. But I believe if you fix the offensive line and you give Brock Purdy time to get rid of the ball, he will make those decisions good. He will complete 80% of those balls. I believe we can win with Brock Purdy. I like what I've seen from Ricky Purcell. I think Ricky's going to be a great receiver going forward. Hopefully, Debo takes a little bit of a pay cut to stay with the team. I want to bring back Juice. But I honestly believe listen, I want Josh Allen. Don't get me wrong. I would love a Lamar Jackson. I would love a Patrick Mahomes. Or a Joe Burrow. I would trade Brock Purdy for any of those guys. But the reality is, they're not available. They're not going to be available. Brock Purdy has shown if you protect him, he can win you games. If you protect Brock Purdy, he will have enough time to make the right decision, get the ball where it needs to go, and win games. I've seen it on tape. We all seen it on games. Brock Purdy, if you give him enough time, he will prevail. He's not Jimmy G. Did you guys watch the Rams against Seattle today? Jimmy stinks. There's a lot of quarterbacks out there that's not good. And I understand we're frustrated. I understand we're angry. I understand that Brock Purdy threw a lot of interceptions this year. He has not played up to par. Brock Purdy kind of digressed a little bit this year. So we automatically, as emotional Niner fans, we want to get rid of Brock Purdy. We don't want to pay him. But we got to step back for a moment, let go of all the emotions, and think, who can replace Brock Purdy on this team right now? So, instead of thinking about not paying Brock Purdy, and the whole thing about if we pay Brock Purdy, we're not going to be able to pay other players or other positions. That is not true to a certain extent. Brock Purdy gets paid whatever he gets paid, whether we agree with it or not. It's not going to affect the Niners roster until 2 to 3 years later. It's not. Parag has a way of protecting the 49ers when it comes to contracts. Don't look at what Brock Purdy is going to make per year. Look at the bonus. Look at the signing, the guaranteed. That's what we need to look at. We need to look at the guarantee money paid to Brock. We need to look at the signing bonus. Depending what the signing bonus is, it will be divided in 5 years against the cap. People look at per year. If the Niners pay Brock Purdy $60 million, all we see is $60 million per year. What are the Niners thinking? But we got to look at the breakdown. We got to look at the signing bonus, how that gets broken down in 5 years. We got to look at the guarantee money, because the more guarantee he gets, the less it hurts us in the long run. So it's not just about the contract of $60 million. What will the contract detail? This is why when a contract is issued to a certain player, people go bananas. What? 50 million? What? 60 million per year? We got to look at the breakdown. We got to look at the way the contract was structured, how it hurts or benefits the Niners. Let's look at the signing bonus. Let's look at the guarantees, the incentives. When you start breaking a contract down, it's not as bad as we think it is when we hear 60 million per year. And we look at 60 million per year, how are we going to pay Bosa? How are we going to pay this player? How are we going to... The Niners have plans already ahead of time. They know what Brock Purdy is worth. They have an idea of what Brock Purdy is going to get paid. Debo's under contract. Oh my goodness, I can't remember his name. Help me out, guys. Our boy, who got hurt. Our receiver. I can't remember his name. For the life of me. Guys, make sure to wipe your feet and hit that like button on my YouTube. Smash that like button for your boy Niners sickness. We got George under contract. We have Ronaldo Green, who is going to turn out to be a great corner. So even if we lose Charvarius Ward, we have Ronaldo Green, who's going to step up. We already signed Lenore. We got to take care of Hufanga. We re-signed Hufanga. We have Hufanga. We have Mustafa as our starting safeties. I'm telling you, if they sign Brock Purdy, it's not going to be as crazy as people think it is. We got to look at the contract. Now, I want to focus on rebuilding that offensive line. I know Kyle loves the idea of scheming offensive linemen. I know he likes the idea of scheming it. But I want a couple of Trent Williams on the offensive line. Now, we're blessed. Dominic Pooney is going to be a great guard for the Niners year to come. For years, he's going to be an amazing guard. But we got to focus. What are we going to do with Aaron Banks? Is Aaron Banks the answer? Is he the answer? I don't think he is. Now, depending on what he's going to ask, because he is a free agent, will determine whether the Niners bring him back or not. But teams overpay for offensive linemen. They do. They overpay for offensive linemen. Is Aaron Banks, let me rephrase the question. Are you guys comfortable bringing back Aaron Banks at the left guard position? And is Trent Williams going to be the same? Is Trent Williams going to come back in 2025 and be the Trent Williams that we have all loved and admired? Or is he digressing before our very own eyes? You guys should see my birds. They're right here. They're actually sitting on my microphone stand and just listening to me. They're like, if nobody else listens to you, Dad, we'll watch your show. But they're quiet. If I kept them in the cage like they were earlier, they would have been hawking through the whole freaking show. What's up? What's up, my brother from a different mother? How you doing, sir? Luis Moreno in the house. How you doing, brother? Welcome. We got Val Ramos in the house. What's up, Val? How you doing, sir? Good to see you. Yeah, listen. Do you guys remember Case Keenum? How many of you remember Case Keenum, who used to be with the Rams? Then I don't know if he went anywhere else after the Rams, but I know he landed for a year in Minnesota. Do you guys remember that? Case Keenum went to Minnesota and had one amazing year, kind of like what we're seeing with Sam Darnold. What we're seeing this year with Sam Darnold, Case Keenum had the same type of year. Great year. Then he gets signed for a lot of money. And what happened? He went down. Hey, I'm going to give Sam Darnold credit this year. Okay? Sam Darnold has had a great season. But he is who we know he is. He's been in football for 6 years or longer. We know what Sam Darnold is. So he's having a great year. I want to see 2 to 3 years of consistency of this type of year. Not a 1 year wonder. So when I hear the Niners should bring back Sam Darnold, wasn't he backing up Brock Purdy last year? Who was the backup of Brock Purdy last year? If Sam Darnold is that good, why did he back up Brock Purdy last year? Why did he start over Brock Purdy? Some of you may say, well, that was because of Kyle. Kyle wanted Brock Purdy over Sam Darnold. No, I believe if Sam Darnold showed that he was a better quarterback than Brock Purdy while being on the Niner roster, he would have been QB1. He would have been QB1. The fact that Sam Darnold could not beat out Brock Purdy tells me all I need to know about Sam Darnold. A number 1 draft pick could not beat out a 7th round draft choice. But suddenly he's having a good year in Minnesota, and a lot of Niner fans want him back. We should have kept him. We should have got rid of Brock. We should have kept Sam Darnold. Are you freaking kidding me? Whether you like Brock Purdy or not, whether you think he should get paid what he's going to get paid or not, that is your right. But anybody that's trying to tell me that Sam Darnold is better than Brock Purdy is nuts. Just because he's having one great year. I've seen Brock Purdy go ups and downs. And I trust Brock Purdy more than I would ever trust Sam Darnold. We got to stop with the excitement of a one-year wonder or a one-year situation. This Niner team needs to look deep inside themselves. They need to look at themselves and make some tough decisions. Get rid of the coordinators. Get rid of the defensive coordinator. Get rid of special teams coach. Get rid of the receivers coach. Whatever it needs to be done needs to be done. And as I said earlier, draft picks are a crapshoot. I understand. But you got to do your due diligence. You got to have your scouts scouting properly. You have the 11th pick overall in this year's draft. Do not mess it up by picking the wrong position and player. We need to find a kicker because Moody has to go. I even say we need to find a better punter. Changes have to be made. Absolutely. But I believe, without a shadow of a doubt, if you fix the offensive line, you get Brandon Ayuk to come back healthy. You get Debo healthy. You get the second year Ricky Parcell coming back. Christian McCaffrey, hopefully Christian McCaffrey will be healthy and ready to go in 2025. Mason, I don't know if he'll be back or not. He is a free agent. The Niners got to look at what they're going to do there. But this kid, hey, I'm having a show. It's my show, not yours. So relax. The kid tonight who ran for us, he ran pretty damn good. I like him. I hope the Niners bring back Jordan Mason. I do. Those are the things that I'm looking forward to seeing. What are they going to do with Hufanga? What are they going to do with Mason? Are they going to bring Juice back? I want to see the best free agency for me is always who we keep. Then we can go out and get a certain player here or there. The Niners need to make some serious changes. They need to fix that offensive line. They need to get rid of Brindle. They need to find a center. And I think they should go after a center in free agency. Nope, get up. Hold on, guys. You do not go on my receiver like that. Get up here. They need to go after a center. Either draft a center, but I honestly prefer a free agent center. You fix that offensive line. We have the weapons. We're going to have Kittle back. We're going to have McCaffrey back. No, leave that alone. Debo will be back. Brandon Ayuk can be back. We got the emerging of a great receiver that we're looking in Ricky Pearsall. We got Bosa. We still got Warner. We're going to get Greenlaw back. Hopefully we can keep Hufanga. We have Mustafa coming back his second year. Better. We have Renaldo Green coming back for his second year. Even better. We have Lenore. All we got to do is get a good D tackle or another very good pass rusher. I think if you get a really good D tackle, it would help out Leonard Floyd. I really do. I think if you get a really good D tackle, a DeForest Buckner type of D tackle, that would automatically improve Leonard Floyd and Bosa. This is not a rebuilding team. This is a team that needs an overhaul. This is a team that needs to make some changes. Absolutely. But I don't think we are a rebuilding team. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't feel that we are a rebuilding team. I think that we just got to make some changes at some key spots. Draft well. Now, it's easier said than done. But if we draft well, I love the draft of 2023 or 2024, I should say. Dominic Pooney, Mustafa, Ricky Parcell. Those are 3 players. Renardo Green, 4 players in the 2024 draft that are going to be starters for a very long time. If we draft another 4 players that are going to be starters for the Niners, we are in a good situation going forward. I understand many of you are a little bit upset with Leonard Floyd or disappointed with Leonard Floyd. Did he have a great year? No. I wish he would have played better. But I think if you get a good D tackle, it would help out Leonard Floyd. Sam need a tag team battle. And then same old Floyd. I think if we can find a DeForest Buckner D tackle in the draft, it would help out Leonard Floyd. It will help out Collins. And it will help out Bosa. This team can come back. And listen, guys, I looked at the schedule for 2025, and that schedule isn't that tough. Now, every game you can win or lose, I understand. But based on the strength of schedule, we are looking at a very good schedule for us. We play the Browns. I forgot the other teams that we play. Let me show you right now. Hold on, guys. The Niners will not move on from Leonard Floyd. They signed him for 2 years. It would not benefit the Niners to move on from Floyd Sacred. I don't think it would benefit from that. Okay, here we go. So we play at home. We play the Seahawks, the Rams, the Cardinals. Then we host the Falcons. We host the Panthers. We host the Jaguars. We host Tennessee. We host the Bears. And then the away games. The Seahawks, the Rams, the Cardinals. Then we play New Orleans. We play Tampa. We play the Texans. We play the Colts, the New York Giants, and the Cleveland Browns. If we can get our shit together, if we can fix the offensive line, if we can hire the right defensive coordinator, hire a good special teams coach, Get players back healthy like CMC, Brandon Ayuk. Find a center. Get a kicker. Find a better kicker. And yes, I think the Niners can win a lot of games next year if we remain healthy, of course. Now, I don't expect the Niners to have this many injuries in 2025. At least I hope not. JD says offensive tackle, D tackle, defensive end, center, linebacker, free safety, tight end, guard, corner, and fullback. I don't know if they're going to draft a fullback. But you do. I'm assuming if they take a fullback in the later rounds, I'm okay with it. The first 3 rounds, let's say the first 4th rounds are very vital to the success of this team. I'm not saying that the 5th round, the 6th round, and the 7th, the Niners can't pick well. I'm just saying if they can take a player, a difference maker, with the 11th overall pick, if they can take a very good player in the 2nd round, 3rd round, this team can very easily be in contention once again. The NFC West does not scare me. If we can get a new coordinator at defense, if we can hire another special teams coach, fix our offensive line, get our players healthy again, go after a great pass rusher like Bosa or a D tackle, I think they should let go of Hargrave. I think they should figure a way to trade Hargrave and get something for him, in my opinion. Yeah. I'm not very fond of Forrester. I'm not a huge fan of Forrester. So that's a very good point, Luis. What about another offense coordinator? Oh, you mean, a play caller. You know what? Listen, I don't see Kyle hiring an offense. I thought you meant to say an offensive line coach. Excuse me, I saw that and I didn't register that properly there, Luis. But the truth is, I don't see Kyle hiring an offensive coordinator to come to. Would I like it? Yes. I think Kyle can delegate better as just a head coach. But I think Kyle is too prideful to allow his coordinator to do his job. The minute the coordinator is doing something that Kyle doesn't agree with, Kyle's going to put his 2 cents, and the coordinator is not going to be able to be himself. There's going to be a clash between Kyle and the offensive coordinator, and it's just going to be a mess. For that, I'd rather Kyle be the play caller. Would I like a good offensive coordinator? Of course. Do I think Kyle is going to allow him to coach freely? Probably not. But the Niners need to get their butts together. They need to work on fixing the offensive line, hiring some skilled position coaches, drafting well with the schedule of 2025 and a healthy roster and some key additions at key positions. I don't see why not the Niners can go back to the playoffs in 2025. He's on the roster. I think he's on the what do you call it? What do you call it? Man, Detroit is kicking the butt out of the Vikings, 24-9. I expected the Vikings to put a better fight. I really did. I expected the Vikings to put up a better fight than Detroit. I mean, not than Detroit, but a better fight that they're displaying right now. Back to your question of Terrell Owens Jr. or Owens Jr. Tariq Owens, I believe is his name. He's on the practice squad. There you go. He's on the practice squad. So he's on the team, but on the practice squad. I think Ricky Parcells is going to be a great addition to this Niners offense in 2025. What I seen of him today and what I saw him against the Detroit Lions on Monday Night Football, this kid, Ricky, is going to be special. Remember, he didn't start into the 5th game in. The kid was shot during the offseason. He's a rookie. All that, he went through all that craziness and still looks good towards the end of the year. I think Ricky's going to be one hell of a player for the Niners years to come. I think Dominic Puni is going to be, Mustafa is going to be a great safety for us. Renardo Green's going to be a good corner for us. There's a lot of positives in this unfortunate season of the San Francisco 49ers. So, we wind up with the 11th pick overall. Now the season's over. We got to hear about what the Niners' changes are going to be. Who's getting fired? Who's not? We're going to be able to talk on this channel about free agency, the draft, the combine. So make sure you are always tuned in to the Niner Sickness Podcast. Make sure you have the notifications on so that when we go live, you get notified each and every time. And you can say hi to my babies when you guys come on my show. You guys want to say hi to the camera? They're like, wait a minute, what are you doing? This is how they stay. They just stay really humble on my hand like this. But they're quiet. Again, if I let them in the cage, it would have been hawking. So it sucks that our year ended today. We're not making the playoffs since 2020. Or 2021, I should say. Our season's over. Now we get to look at the teams that did make the playoffs and see who gets to the Super Bowl. By the way, make sure to check us out on Tuesdays at 6:30 with me, Pete, and Brandon, the Niner Boys podcast. As we come together, we're going to talk about the playoffs. We're going to talk about the teams that should advance in the playoff weekend. We're going to talk about, we're going to give predictions. So make sure to join us on Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. And then on Thursdays, and I got to confirm with my co-host Jess, on Thursdays, we have the Niners Now podcast with Jess from East Coast Red and Gold. We go live at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Thursdays, and we talk 49er football. So make sure to come and join us on Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Thursdays at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then have the notifications on so when I do go live, depending on who gets signed or who gets cut, who gets fired, I may do a live, and this way you will get notified and you can hang out with your boy, Niner Sickness. Dina Harvey, how are you doing today? Welcome. Just got home from a watch party. We will be back. Much love to you, Beto. Much love to you, Dina Harvey. It's always a blessing to see you. We got Jed this year. Next year, much better. Listen, I am in disbelief how bad the Vikings are playing against a depleted Lions. Say what you will about Dan Campbell. I like him as a coach. Does he make some stupid calls? Does he go for it a lot? Yes. But that guy lives and dies by who he is. Whether you like him or not, he is who he is. Sometimes Kyle is not like that. Kyle can change his colors. Dan Campbell, either you like him or you hate him. He is who he is, and I like that about a coach. The way they're playing right now against the Vikings, and this is Sam Darnold, only 9 points against Brock Purdy, put more points on the Detroit Lions defense than Sam Darnold. But a lot of Niner fans, they want Sam Darnold to come back and take the job away from Brock Purdy, which is absurd. Really is. We should get we should let go of Brock Purdy, not pay him all that money, and bring back Sam Darnold at a cheaper contract. And what? Get mediocre play by Sam? 1 year, I'm good. So was Case Keenum. He was great for 1 year, and it happened to be with Minnesota. Then he got signed by a desperate team, and he wet the bed. Do you think Garindo the truth, or is the truth, or do they need to? I like Garindo. I think Garindo suffered a lot of injuries this year. I do like Garindo. I think Garindo will grow into a better back. But I do like Garindo. Hold on, guys. Let me make sure I lock this. All right. I do like. Did I did it? I did it again. Hold on, guys. Okay, locked. All right. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. You guys are awesome. Make sure you hit the like button. The Niners are done. The season's over. But we're going to talk a lot about the offseason. We're going to talk about the scouting combine, free agency. We're going to talk about the draft. Hopefully the Niners make the right decisions within the coaching staff. I hope they draft well. We are the 11th pick. We have the 11th pick in the 2025 draft. Now, can the Niners take advantage and make the right choice with the right pick and the right position? And Kyle, John Lynch, Jed York, for the love of God, no more running backs, no more kickers or punters in the first 4 rounds. No more. Stop it. Stop it taking kickers with a 3rd round pick. Stop taking punters with 4th round pick. Stop taking running backs in the first 4 picks of the draft. I want a receiver. I want a D tackle, an edge rusher, an offensive tackle, another guard, another corner. But we're going to break it down. I'm going to be doing draft simulations. You guys are welcome to join my live whenever I do a draft simulation. We're going to talk about the draft. We're going to break down the draft. We're going to break down key players that the Niners should or shouldn't draft in the 2025 draft. Who should they stay away from? Who should they go after? I'm going to try to bring guests, and we're going to break it down for you, for your entertainment. Do you want to be entertained? That's why you guys watch other people than me, so you guys can truly be entertained. Because I don't know how to entertain. That's why we watch Jesse Naylor. He entertains us. I love Jesse, by the way. That's why we watch John Chaplin, because he entertains us. I love him too. I love all 49er content creators, man. I do. Some of them I won't watch. They're not my cup of tea, but I can respect that they're doing what they love to do. It's not easy to get in front of a mic. It's not easy to get in front of a camera and make yourself vulnerable to everybody in the internet community. When they can make fun of you, they can talk crap about you. So every content creator, especially the 49er ones that do the work, I appreciate and respect. Do I always agree with every content creator? No. But I respect that they put in the work, they get in front of the camera, they get criticized for what they say or don't say, but they got a camera, they got a microphone, they built a YouTube channel, and they are doing what they love. I always tell this to people. Stop criticizing content creators and start your own channel. Now, I'm not saying you cannot disagree. You can always disagree with me. You can always disagree with Jesse Naylor. You can disagree with John, Breezy, whoever your favorite content creator. You don't always have to agree with everything they say, but don't criticize them. I challenge you to build your own YouTube channel, go live, get some criticism, and see if you want to continue to criticize others. Let's support one another. Let's love one another. We are all 49er fans. A lot of us agree with one another. A lot of us don't. We have our own opinions about Brock Purdy, whether he's worth it or not, whether he should get paid or not. Some of us agree with we should keep Kyle Shanahan. A lot of Niner fans want him gone. And we are entitled to our own opinion, but at the very end, we are all 49er fans. We have that in common. So continue to root for your favorite content creator. Continue to support them. Hit those like buttons for each of your content creators. And I thank you for your support. I thank you for your friendship. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for supporting the Niner Sickness podcast. I will always do my best to talk the truth, even if it's just my truth, and be honest with what I say and be consistent in what I say. They're not going to keep Moody. I mean, they may keep him, but they're going to bring in competition, especially with a 90-man roster. I believe they'll bring in a kicker or two to compete with Moody, and we'll see what happens. All right, guys, it's been a pleasure hanging out with you guys. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for hanging out with you. Have a wonderful evening. Be blessed. And stay tuned. The Niners season might be over, but not the Niner Sickness podcast. We will talk later. God bless. And remember, Jesus loves you. Later, my friends. God bless. Talk to you soon. Peace. Good night, everyone. Say good night to my babies. This is Roxy and Maui. Good night, guys. God bless.